As we mentioned, today is Giving Wednesday, and we want you to be the beat and save a life.
We're partnering with the American Heart Association, raising money to provide life-saving resources. Joining us live to talk about those efforts, Chris Shives, the Executive Director of the American Heart Association Nebraska. Thanks for being here, Chris.
Thanks for having us, and thanks for including the American Heart Association on this spectacular day.
Oh, for sure. Okay, let's talk about CPR, because knowing it can save a life, and you have some data on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we recognize that about 90% of the time that people go into cardiac arrest, that will happen outside of the hospital. So it's important for all of us to know the life-saving techniques of CPR and to help increase a chance of survival. And oftentimes those people go into cardiac arrest are a loved one, a friend. So we want to be there to help them immediately.
Jump into action. The American Heart Association has a goal to meet by 2030. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we're talking about our nation of lifesavers and how we can double the number of people that know how to perform CPR. So that's going to be a big goal of ours. And, this is just the start of it. And I'm glad we're talking about it today, but you can expect for the next, 6-7 years, you're going to hear a lot about CPR and the American Heart Association, Be the Beat, and the nation of lifesavers.
Chris, when you see someone who needs CPR, it's alarming. You might be afraid to touch them. Is that one of the barriers that people might encounter?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of times we see people not acting when they're a bystander. Is that fear of causing harm to that person that's gone down, or potentially, an inappropriate touch. So what we try to remind people is there's laws in place to cover those that take action, to give you that ability to try to save someone's life. So we don't want that to ever be a barrier of someone stepping in and starting CPR.
We see the thousands of dollars being raised today. Where will that money go?
Yeah, absolutely. So every donation that ever comes to the American Heart Association, we really try to focus those in priority areas here in the state of Nebraska and across the country. But, when we talk today, we're talking a lot about CPR resources. So we have a lot of great tools that we get into the community to help promote and help people learn how to do CPR. Great example is we have our CPR Anytime kits. So we've been at a lot of events this summer, and we'll be at events this coming weekend, like the Tri-Faith United We Walk event, where we'll be handing out these kits to help kind of create a train the trainer model where people can take home mannequins and get to kind of train themselves as a family. So those are the kinds of resources the AHA gets into the community.
Such a great idea and so interactive. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Well, and thank you all for supporting the American Heart Association.
For sure. So far, we've raised nearly $3,000. If you'd like to keep the momentum going, head to ketv.com/giving to donate. You can also go there to learn more about the American Heart Association, their classes, those kits that Chris talked about, to teach you how to save a life.